What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rest Hold Podcast, episode 53. Brought to you, as always, by your boys Tanner, Fred, and me, Zach Foreman. Tanner, say what's up to the people.
Remember the intro this week?
Yeah.
Back on track.
You guys hear me let a little chuckle out. I botched the intro last week.
Well, we're back.
But that's
we're
what
back
we
on
do.
track here.
We don't edit.
No,
we're here.
never. Just raw footage.
Raw content for the people. Raw content for the people.
We're back with another week.
Yeah.
1 year and 1 week.
1 year and 1 week.
Of
who's
wrestling
counting?
content. Us, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fans.
And the fans.
Right?
SummerSlam, almost upon us.
And they are working fast and furiously to get a card together.
I mean, so far, we have good matches for the card.
Yeah.
But no storylines that I'm really invested in, I would say.
Okay. And I think that is a really fair statement. And I'm probably in agreement with you because the reason I want to watch Brock and Roman is because I think they can give us a much better match.
Then WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because Roman got hurt or whatever it was, so they needed to cut it short. So now, assuming both guys are healthy, I think they could deliver.
Yeah.
Especially the new style of wrestling for Roman, right? So the last few times Brock and Roman face off, it's like spear, Superman punch, spear. If they really let these two guys go, we might get a match where Roman's like slow burning it. Like
It is a last man standing match.
Yeah.
So,
might get some time.
yeah. They're definitely going to give it, I think, at least 30 minutes. I
Yeah.
think anything less than that is really a crime.
I could really see 45, like a
It's a
real
lot
big segment.
for Brock.
It is, but I gotta think Money in the Bank comes into play too.
I think they'll do the classic tease and then nothing happens kind of thing. Interesting point of just conversation. Hypothetically, if Theory were to cash in during the match,
Yeah. What happens?
is it now pinfall? Is it still last? Does he have to knock out both men?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Never before done.
And won't happen. But
Makes really no sense.
at all.
Like, I mean, theoretically, you can see it, right? Brock F5s both of you guys. You're both down for 10 seconds. Brock wins, whatever.
Yeah.
But realistically, how frequently would that happen?
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
I doubt it. I think Roman's going to win anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's happening. And also, like, now, to kind of jump ahead a little bit, but not really, Theory and Dolph seem to be having a program coming up, which is a weird time to start this.
I really think that this is just to get a named victory of a former champion for Theory before he faces Cena.
But he's fighting Bobby at SummerSlam for the U.S. title.
Yeah. No, I know. I don't know.
He's not going to win.
No, he's not going to be Bob.
That would make no sense.
They're not going to work Ziggler into that match
I
just so that
hope
Theory
not.
doesn't have to get pinned.
I hope not, especially because you just brought Dolph back, and now he's face.
They definitely would do something like that.
100% they would. 100%.
Why do we even bother? Because
Yeah.
that is a hunt.
That is likely now that you say it. That almost might be
They
exactly what happened.
short notice bring them back. What do we have? 4 weeks to SummerSlam?
No, less.
It's the first week in August.
It's last week of July.
I forgot it's the last week in July.
It's in July.
Not
So
the
it's
first week of August. We have
I think it's 2
full
Sundays
weeks.
from this
Yeah.
coming Sunday.
We have 2 full weeks. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So we have three SmackDowns, 2 Raws. Might be what's happening.
This is, again, and look at me. I'm just assuming, we had the July pay-per-view, wait for August. No, this is classic WWE where they book, quote-unquote storylines with no story.
Yeah.
So they have whatever end result they want in mind, right? They have whatever card they want to assemble in mind, and they've given us nothing.
Yeah, nothing. So what do we have established so far? We have
a
Roman and Brock, last man standing.
With some good promo packages going back and forth.
Yes. We have the Usos and Street Profits with a special guest referee.
Which, this is, if I had to predict, this is the end of the Street Profits.
I would think so as well.
Yeah.
It appears as though, alluding to a little bit on Raw, this is what I read between the lines a little bit, potentially Montez joining MVP type of thing. Weird to have them involved,
But
would make sense.
it's a way to break them up.
It is.
This is the Big E storyline to Montez, but Montez takes it.
Yeah.
And runs with it.
Basically. We have Theory and Bob.
Yep. Which, if what we just said happens, terrible.
While it's not, I don't think, officially announced, Seth and Riddle is going to happen.
Yeah, likely.
And
it's going to be Liv and Ronda, and I think Natalia's getting in.
Probably. And then we have probably Carmella, Bianca, and Becky. Or maybe just Bianca and Becky as their SummerSlam rematch from last year. And then the only other thing I could see happening right now with how this laid out is they would have to rush it a little bit, to be honest, but it would be Edge and Finn.
I don't know if we're getting there.
Here's
At
the
least
thing,
not
though.
that quickly.
I don't think we need a full program.
You
could sell me on the Monday before, and the story's already there.
Yeah.
Finn tossed him out of Judgment Day. Like, the story's there. There's not a whole lot to really write up for that.
If I had to guess, it's going to be more of a whatever Judgment Day is doing at SummerSlam gets interrupted by Edge.
That would be horrible.
I know. But
really bad.
But I think that would be more likely.
Yeah, that does make sense when you put it like that.
Because I don't think they would. And actually, I'm so in my own head sometimes when it comes to what would WWE do, because lately it's not that easy to tell.
No.
It used to be a lot easier.
I think also it's a little easier to read Vince.
Yeah.
And now that maybe Vince isn't pulling the strings
Take
as
one
much.
step back. In 2 months, it's been a
and it's also, it's tough because, like, let's say, I'm not saying this is how it is. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But, like, if Vince liked this person or didn't like this person and Stephanie does, one, you can't just cut it out and just flip the switch like that. So you do kind of have to work your way back through to a different person.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of unanswered questions that, I mean, probably need a couple more months to really figure out what direction we're going with certain people.
Yeah. So let me tie in my thought, right?
Okay.
So I was like, oh, you just have Edge come in and interfere. But would WWE waste the opportunity to market a pay-per-view event or a premium live event with Edge? And the answer is probably not.
Probably not.
So they probably have him come back next week on Raw.
I think you do the last week before, because there doesn't even have to be anything.
There's no build necessary.
No.
I'm back. You screwed me. We're fighting.
Yeah, that's it. There it is. And I think the way Edge is kind of being
as a contractual thing, he wrestles once every 3 months,
basically. But like, Edge and the Demon would be cool. I don't think we can get there right now.
I think what has to happen, if that is the case, which would be awesome, Edge has to come back, win, and Finn has to be like, I wasn't ready. Mm-hmm. But this is the kind of, like, you want the smoke, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, now you got the Demon.
Terms.
Now you have the Demon. Yeah. I just don't know if you want to put that on like a September pay-per-view, unless it's Saudi Arabia, which tends to be one of their big ones. Yeah. So then it's a little different. But because there's no August pay-per-view, right?
That new one in Wales.
That's October, right?
October.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get there.
It's a while.
It's a long time.
Do you think they're going to do Crown Jewel in September? Do we know on that? Because I feel like going September, Saudi Arabia, October, UK.
It's a lot of out of
the United States. And I mean, that's good. It's, especially if they're going to the UK.
It's good for the brand.
That's great for the UK. Yeah. They haven't had a pay-per-view, and I couldn't even tell you how long.
Yeah.
Other than, I think NXT did one, right? They had a takeover in UK, I think. But other than that, like, I couldn't even tell you the last time WWE has had a pay-per-view premium live event over there.
Yeah.
Years.
But before we get too far into this.
Okay.
Rumors. Formerly known as Sasha Banks is making her first appearance.
Mercedes Vernado.
Yeah. Making her first appearance this weekend at some event in Chicago, I believe.
Interesting.
I saw it briefly on Instagram.
What, like a convention kind of thing?
Yeah. So if I get the location wrong, don't come for me. Don't shoot the messenger. But she's supposed to be making an appearance somewhere as Mercedes herself.
No, not as Sasha Banks.
Not as Sasha Banks.
Interesting.
Just something to think about. So maybe
I feel like
have a statement or something.
That's a bold move, because you're going to get the questions.
What's going on with WWE?
Yeah, you're going to get every question under the sun about what the hell's going on.
And maybe that's what she wants. Maybe she wants to tell her side.
Maybe control the narrative a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, she's been hanging out with the EC3. Control your narrative.
Yeah, I don't know.
Imagine that's the announcement.
Yeah, imagine.
I'm with Adam Scher.
Oh, what is it? What is their group called? And
CYN. Control your narrative.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's the other one? Cross is in it, right?
Yeah, it's Cross.
I don't know. That'll be interesting. Mm-hmm. There'll definitely be the rumor sheets will blow up on that one this weekend. So keep an eye on that.
Everybody look up what events are going on in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. That's weird. It's interesting. I mean, because she's gone.
She's gone.
At this point, she's gone.
I mean, they
Like,
removed her. You want to get into like the real corny like
Yeah.
this league? I can't believe it. They removed her avatar from Peacock, so you can't be
really
Sasha Banks
can't
anymore.
be Sasha Banks anymore.
Where
Wow.
mine is still the tribal chief, still Roman.
I think mine is Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, it's probably a little more acceptable
Yeah.
than a grown man being another grown man. Who's your profile picture? Oh, just like some animated character. No, I'm Roman Reigns. I'm the head of the table, damn it. As I sit in my apartment alone.
Yeah, right.
I'm Roman Reigns, damn it.
Just throwing the ones up by yourself.
Every time I turn on Peacock, just a moment of silence, throwing the ones up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. That's an interesting one.
It's just something we gotta mention because now
Also,
that I saw
like,
it,
is Naomi on Earth still? I haven't heard anything about her.
I don't know.
Like, at least there's like pictures of like Sasha like doing this, doing that. Like, is Naomi alive? Like, what's
this
good?
to me, and maybe I'm just being like too simple about it. Like, she got wronged,
I think
and
so.
she bought into it. And she's not the star power that Sasha is.
No,
She's
she's
not the
not.
draw that Sasha is. But I can understand the frustration. And then when you see Sasha has tended to get what she wants out of it, you try that. You're not Sasha.
You're not Sasha.
And she's so damn good.
Yeah.
Like and I know. Well, she could have had a push. She could have done this. She could have done that. But what else do you want? Like you were a champion for a terrible division, but you were a champion.
To be fair, and I saw a thing about this. It's actually funny that we brought this up because it was basically like, while everyone was saying, "Oh, you know, Sasha and Naomi did the wrong thing, this, that, and the other, whatever it is," that tournament, no one's heard a word about it. Backstage, nothing. No one has any idea, and there's no tag teams left.
No, none.
So,
No,
while they might not have been, and the more that comes out, it seems like they actually didn't do it the wrong way.
Right. And I think we kind of walked this back the first week after our initial take. We were like, okay, instant reaction wasn't right.
Yeah.
More information came out. It seems like they kind of did it the wrong way, and WWE almost intentionally screwed them by like putting it out the way that they did.
Yeah. But kind of makes it seem like they had a good point.
Yeah. Where are the tag teams now?
No. And where are the titles? They haven't said a word about it.
Dewdrop and Nikki ASH.
I guess, man. I don't know. I mean, that's like what we keep saying. Like, the women's tag titles were a good idea when they did them.
Because it was a stacked division.
It was a stacked division.
Yeah.
But now, like,
You cut everybody.
there's no one left. Yeah. There's no one left. Do the mid-card title.
Yeah,
Do
mid-card
it.
title.
Both brand mid-card title.
Mm-hmm. Do an IC.
Something like that.
Make the women's belt the European belt.
Yeah,
Do
something. I don't know.
Bring
Pick
it
something.
back.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But
Anyway.
bring back the Deeps. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's a horrible belt.
No. Bring it back. You can't be women's champion. You're Divas
Divas
champion.
champion. Ah, it's terrible.
And then making it the mid-card is just so insulting.
Yeah, it's so bad. So bad.
Yeah. But yeah, back on track.
Yeah.
So SummerSlam.
Real quick, sorry.
Yeah.
Final thought on the Naomi thing.
Oh.
A little tinfoil hat potentially.
Let's hear it.
You think this is potentially Jimmy being like, "Hey, just shut up and we'll figure it out"?
Dude,
like, it would not surprise me if Jimmy's like, "Hey, you know what? You did get screwed a little bit, but just stay quiet.
Yeah.
Don't do anything stupid.
People
I have pull.
People are talking about Sasha. Just let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah.
I have pull here. Like,
I don't know
just
if-
give it a little bit of time to die down, and we'll figure it out."
Maybe that, or maybe it's like, hey, you've been a more than supportive wife through all my other tribulations, but I'm at the peak of my career right now.
Yeah.
Maybe let me rock,
Yeah.
okay? Like, I don't know. Anything. It could be anything.
Yeah.
But
I
hope
think that one's likely. If you start reading the writing on the wall, like,
the Usos are better than they've ever been.
and Sasha tested her luck one too many times.
Yeah, and they're more involved in any program than they've ever been.
Yeah.
I would like to think that Naomi could come back, be plugged right into that, and nobody would think anything of it.
No.
Like, if
probably
anything,
not.
she would get a huge pop.
Huge pop.
Huge pop.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's so frustrating, and now we're off track a little bit, and this is all my fault. But it's like, if they would have just partnered her with the Bloodline to begin with, she would have been over. So over.
Yeah.
And everyone would have been okay with it
Yeah.
because it just makes sense.
And she probably would have beaten
Yeah.
Bianca.
Yeah.
She might have had that belt.
And it just makes sense.
Yeah.
And everybody would have been like, yep. Yep.
There it is.
Yep.
And even like maybe once we get past this Brock thing,
Yeah.
like
It's not too late to do it.
it's not too late.
No.
I think it's actually even better now
Because now Roman
you put it into a storyline.
Yeah.
To have Roman be like, yeah, I know all this stuff happened, but I'm the tribal chief.
Yeah. You thought I was letting my
You think letting
sister-in-law,
family? You think someone sitting at the table?
Yeah,
Like, he can do whatever he wants, but like,
you thought I was letting
it's so easy to
cousin-in-law
pull her
go?
back in. It's so
You
easy.
thought I was gonna let Oos be wrong?
Yeah, like it would be so
Me?
easy. Yeah.
The tribal chief, dude. That would be, and it would actually be better. I think.
Yeah, it
You're
would
right.
be perfect.
It would work so well.
Because then you change the entire narrative of it
Yeah.
too.
That it is immediately wiped from memory, and everyone's just like, "Yep, Roman."
And the only thing you would have to do, just don't mention Sasha. Just don't even bring it up.
Not at all.
Just she's with us now.
Yep.
That's it. There it is.
And then you can get your slights in because I'm sure they will.
Of course
about
they
Roman,
will.
you want to cry. You're
Of course
unhappy
they
with how
will.
backstage is going.
Of course.
It's my stage.
Yeah. You can say whatever you want. Yeah.
It would be funny. It would be good.
It would be good. It would be
It'd
good
real
TV.
good.
Yeah.
All right. Back on track. The road to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And the stories to get us there.
Yeah. I mean, Roman and Brock. Not Brock.
That's
sorry.
it.
Well, yeah, but Roman and Paul must see TV.
Promo on top of promo. I like Brock talking for himself.
Brock is.
He has enough character where it works. He doesn't have to say like the most intricate things. He doesn't have to go for 15 minutes on the mic. But you get 3 or 4 minutes of Brock, and Grant, he'll have a slip up, right? It's just gonna happen. But it's Brock, so you live with it.
My thing is, it works now because of how good Roman and Paul are.
Yes.
Like, you have to have, like, he could do it with, like, somebody like Seth, somebody like Edge, but it's a limited amount of people that can make this work.
Yeah.
Because, like, while Brock gives you, like, these funny, cool promos, he doesn't really give you much to work with.
Right.
It's just him kind of just talking.
Uh-huh.
Where, like, most time a promo is, like, it's a give and take.
It's a give and take, right? You feed off each other a little bit. And Brock is...
kind of just says what he's thinking.
Yeah.
More than actually cuts a promo.
Yeah,
So-
which is fine.
Which is fine because it's Brock. Everyone knows it's Brock, but it works well with someone who's at the top of their game on the mic.
Yes. Okay. So SmackDown, Roman's back.
Roman's back.
Another new shirt.
Yes. Well, merch machine.
Merch machine.
Yeah.
I got to think Roman makes his company millions
So
upon millions
so much
of
money.
dollars.
It's actually absurd.
It's like
How much money
I
he
know
probably
I
grosses
have bought like 4 Roman Reigns shirts.
Probably actually
and
insane.
hoodies since this reign. So what? Over the course of 2 years, I bought 4 items about Roman. I'm a grown man. Like, what do you think?
Who knows what the kids
that's
that
what
like
I'm,
Roman?
That's what I'm saying. What do you think the kids
Birthday,
at home
Christmas,
are,
any kind of anything.
I need the glove. I need the sweatband. I need the
everything.
hoodie, the
Yeah.
joggers. I need
Everything.
this new shirt, new hoodie, new job. Like, it definitely. He's making up so much money.
I would love to see like the merch. They're probably. I don't know if they release revenue,
Yeah.
but I know they're. I'm pretty sure they release like product sales. Like I would love to see like how many units that guy's moving.
Yeah. Percentage of sales too is probably astronomical.
Insane.
Roman's probably like a
Probably
quarter.
30%.
Yeah,
Yeah, 25,
somewhere between a
30%.
quarter and a third of the business.
Yeah, it's probably crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah.
That was not what I was getting into
Okay.
though. Good to see him back.
Yes.
The promos.
Yeah.
Guy's good.
I mean, SmackDown was bad for a while, and the show still wasn't very good. But that's a must-see 25 minutes.
SmackDown is bad without Roman. This draft,
SmackDown's bad with Roman. He just
Yeah.
has a good segment.
Yes. You could get me to watch 35 to 45 minutes of SmackDown just with Roman and Paul and the interactions, but it's everything else.
How they get you is like
They put him
you
first
can
and last.
you can get me to turn on SmackDown to watch Roman, and then once
Yeah.
it's on, I probably won't turn it off. It's like it's on now.
Yep, you put him first and last, and I'm going to watch the whole show.
Yeah, there it is.
Despite it being a bad show.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we were singing the same song about Raw like 4 or 5 months ago, and then the transition is just Raw's the good show, which is still not a great show, but the good
It's
show.
a better show, I would
and
say.
and SmackDown is now a bad show.
I don't know what they need, and I think it's just that there's no stories. No one has any good stories.
Yeah.
So like, there's nothing to compel me to watch the rest of the show.
Right, because now Walter won, which was a fun thing to watch.
Yeah.
Walter become champion.
But now what?
Gunther.
Gunther. Yeah.
Yeah, but
now
now
what?
he's champion. There's no legitimate threats to him right
No.
now, and instead you job out his consigliere Ludwig.
Yeah. Ludwig.
Why is he losing to Shinsuke?
I mean,
And-
Shinsuke's good,
But that's not
yeah.
to say that Shinsuke needs to be the guy. But if you're gonna have Ludwig wrestle, have him wrestle somebody you can beat, or that you don't have a problem losing. Like I get you want to have Shinsuke still win because you want him to be a believable upper mid card guy.
Yeah.
Well, this guy Ludwig is the right hand man of your Intercontinental Champion. He should be believable too.
That's the problem. Is like they really struggle with making like people believable at the same time.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do the Shinsuke thing, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But like you need like for people who don't watch NXT, which is a heavy majority of your main
They don't
roster
know
audience,
how talented
they
this
have
guy
no
is.
idea who Marcel Bartel is.
Yeah, and he's phenomenal.
And not only that, it's How many matches has he wrestled on the main roster?
I think it's this.
This?
This is his
Okay.
official
So
match,
then,
I think.
why do I? What? There's no reason for me to believe that this guy is anything,
Why
unless
would I-
I'm an avid fan of NXT for the last 3 years.
Yep.
This is a nobody to me.
And why would I care to watch him again?
Exactly.
I seen him once, he lost.
That's it. I'm good.
This guy's not, because the way and WWE gets into this habit is
He's
when
madcap.
when you book people, they lose on their first match. They tend to not be important.
He's Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, they tend to be nobodies.
Yeah.
Like, and not to say to disrespect someone like Cedric Alexander, who's extraordinarily talented
Yeah,
and had
but
his,
that's
had
just
his
how-
run as champion.
Yeah, he did.
But
Did he?
he was cruiserweight
Oh.
and then tag team, but which is
Right, he
fine.
did. Yeah, no, it's good.
So-
No, it's pretty good.
Like, that's not to disrespect him, but it's like now when he comes on TV, I'm like, okay, he's just filling a spot. Like he's
Yeah.
just a time filler.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be out here to
He's
get
gonna
beat
get
up.
jobbed out. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's not a good way to start a new career.
It's not. That's the thing. Like if you pull up a group like that, and I understand you didn't pull up the whole group, and
Which was
you
a
know,
mistake in itself. But
Yes
okay.
and no, but Giovanni's doing well for himself down there, down in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you got to make them believable first. It's fine. That's the thing too. Is like, and by make them believable, they don't have to win every match. They don't have to
No.
run through the roster.
And that's not even to say he looks bad against Shinsuke, but it's your first match.
Yeah, like. Give him someone he can beat first.
Yeah.
Give me a reason. If I don't watch NXT, give me a reason to be like, oh, this guy's good.
Yeah.
But no, we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
No, that's it, dude. I
Yeah.
hear you. And then I guess for women now, they're going to do, like I said before,
Liv
Natalia,
and Natalia's
Liv
gonna get
and
it.
Ronda.
Yeah, probably.
Is
That'll be
this-
a disappointing match.
Now I'm looking at it, and this is from WWE's own website, right?
Okay.
So they're saying even performing at less than 100%, the baddest woman on the planet is relentless and locking in.
Didn't she
an
just beat
ankle lock.
Natalia? She
Yeah.
beat Natalia, right?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think Natalia's gonna get in.
I just don't understand why you do that match again if you're not going to put her in. You know what I mean?
I think it's to not put her in.
You think?
I think it's.
I almost think it's the opposite. Like this feud's not finished.
I think it's you
blah,
lost
blah.
twice. You're done.
How many times does that happen?
I know, but I think I see your point. But like logically, I feel like it's okay. You lost twice. You're done.
It should be done.
You lost twice in 2 weeks. You're done.
My only issue with that is, are you going to have Liv go over Ronda clean
100%.
again?
Yeah. Because the first one's a roll up.
I know the first
A
one's
hurt
a roll
roll-up,
up,
yeah.
but it's
I mean, I know you're saying it's clean, but Money in the Bank's never really clean.
no, it's not. It's a cash in. It's
Yeah, that's the
catch
point.
you at your most vulnerable. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it, but I don't know.
I think she does. I think Liv wins.
My only thought, if that is how it goes, Ronda must be done. Like taking a
I don't know
nice,
how long her contract
or
was.
taking a break or
Bring her back right before Mania.
Because if you're gonna,
I think it's just it was a
it was a fan
failed
service
experiment.
thing. Yeah,
A failed
just-
experiment.
We know the people get behind Ronda for one appearance and then
And
that's
then
it.
you get kind of bored.
That's true.
Like her promos, like I understand if you like Ronda, that's fine. Like she is a draw. Like her name is a draw. Whether it's would have been a lot more of it or was more of a draw 8 years ago compared to now. ESPN still checks in on Ronda Rousey, like
Yeah, and
that
they-
kind of thing.
they
Like it's
do
still a
talk about how
notable
she's on-
name.
Yep, how she's on
But-
WWE.
She's just not very good.
Yeah.
And that's not a shot at her. Like, the problem is they hot-shotted her. Like, and I understand you kind of have to with a name of that caliber.
Yes and no, right? Like the thing they did when they first had her on with the mixed couple tag,
Yeah.
and like I hated it, but it serves a purpose.
Yeah.
She's protected. She looks strong against Triple H. Knows how to take bumps. All this. Oh, sorry, too far away.
Okay.
She's protected against Triple H. Whatever. But then when you start putting her against these other top females, like the talent, they don't care to protect you.
No.
Like when you're in the ring, like, and you kind of see it. It's evident when it was Charlotte and when it's Becky, and like these women are cutting promos, doing their job to the best of their ability, and they actually are showing people you're not there.
Yeah.
And like it's evident in the ring, it's evident on the mic. So like a perfect way to like avoid that was just Ronda keep doing these like celebrity-esque segments where she's
Yeah.
like feuding with like higher ups and things like that.
That was the thing, too. And, like, it was like her and The Rock against H and Steph,
Yeah.
right? Stephanie and H don't care if they lose.
No.
Their whole job is make this match look good.
Yeah.
Where the rest of the roster is, while I want this match to look good, how can this match push me forwards?
And you know what, like especially with the role Sonya Deville just had, right, where she was manager for however long, and now I guess she's transitioning back into being a full-time wrestler.
Yeah.
But you could have just had Ronda feud with Sonya for a long time.
For a while. Yeah.
Because like your problem is with like the authority and how it's run, and you're a badass, and you don't care about the title, and
basically just switch out Naomi for Ronda and just run that storyline for as long as they did because it was a while,
and it would have worked.
It would have been fine,
and it would have got her mic experience, like promo experience, would have got her in ring experience and outside the ring fighting experience, like like how to put on a brawl or whatever. If she could have been better, and like,
I think the problem was too is like, as much as I like love Charlotte and. When you have somebody like Ronda, like you want to put them with someone who can help them, you can't throw her right to Charlotte because Charlotte just shows you how much better she is.
And that's the thing is like some girls, for instance, Liv, who's good on her own, but she's not Charlotte good, get elevated to Charlotte good.
Yeah.
Ronda, who's bad, does not get elevated. She gets exposed.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
Yeah.
And so, trust me, I'm no fan. I don't like Ronda. I'm maybe overly critical of how bad she is, but there were ways to get her better.
Yeah,
and they just didn't
100%,
do that.
100%. I agree.
Yeah. All right.
And I feel like one more comment and we'll stop ragging all over Ronda.
I know.
But like, it also seemed like she didn't really put in the work. Like, I understand you're Ronda Rousey because they go to promo class.
They might have given
do
her
whatever
things to do, and she was just like, no.
Because like, say what you will about like a lot of the other celebrity appearances and like how Logan Paul, Bad Bunny, even Johnny Knoxville was good.
Knoxville, yeah.
Like, I know it's a business, it's an entertainment. Just do the work to do that. You being a UFC fighter, well, that's cool and that's great, and that gives you skills in the ring. Doesn't do anything else for you.
And you know what you're signing up for.
Especially when you have the personality of a doornail.
Yeah, and it's hard to shake the I'm the baddest woman on the planet when that's all people tell you for so long, and that's how they bill you and introduce you, and you really were a badass.
Yeah.
But like, this is not the fight game. Right?
Yeah.
This is the sports entertainment business. So just show up, sports entertain, get better at it.
Winning isn't enough here.
Yeah.
And in the UFC, winning is enough.
Because guess what? Everybody knows you'd beat up the whole division.
Yeah, if no one's questioning that.
Everybody knows that.
Like, cool. Like, but that's not what we want to see. Like,
yeah, okay.
Anyway, moving on from Ronda. We'll be here all day.
I guess that's kind of it for SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown was okay. The Usos and Street Profits. But, we kind of talked about Raw already.
Yeah, we just touched on like what Brock is doing, but like what's with the theory and the Alpha Academy?
I think it's just
to get people out there to get beat up by Brock.
Basically, pretty much. And like Alpha Academy's pretty good at being okay. So I know it sounded horrible, but
are we gonna get Finn and Rey Mysterio at SummerSlam?
I hope not. Probably, but I hope not.
And is that how they're gonna split up the Mysterios?
I think we're done with that.
Judgment Day.
I think we're over that.
Yeah, I think so too, but I don't know.
You know what really, really worries me now that you just said that? Are we getting someone else in Judgment Day? And then we're doing Edge and the Mysterios versus Judgment Day? I really hope not. I just thought about it as soon as you said that, but I really, really hope not.
It'd just be so bad.
So bad. So bad.
And this is one person I do not get tired of ragging on. Dominic is just not good.
And what's funny is Dominic is very similar to Ronda in the fact that you had an opportunity to let him get better.
Yeah, you could
have started him in NXT. And you know what? He's a lot better than a lot of the people in NXT right now. He is.
But you know what the crazy thing to me is? And they do it right with Solo, right? Solo's down there. He could have been thrown in to be an Uso immediately. Yeah. And he's probably more ready just based on his like body of work. But I digress. Dominic is worse than the top guys on NXT who all came after.
Yes, absolutely.
He's not
100%.
Braun Breaker. He's not even close to Carmelo.
No.
He's not Grayson Waller.
No.
He's not Tony D. He's definitely not Santos.
No.
So what are you? He's barely Andre Chase, if I'm being honest.
No, he's better than Andre Chase, but
barely.
I don't think it's barely.
Barely.
He's in the tier in between those groups. I think so. He's like A, where those guys are like S.
He's neither of the Creeds.
No.
So
no.
I don't know.
He's upper mid card in NXT.
At best.
If you count North American as mid card, then he's lower mid card. But
yeah, he wouldn't be able to hang with Carmelo.
No, he wouldn't. No shot.
No shot. Carmelo's hanging with Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the problem is like Dominic is where he should be talent wise, just not position wise.
Exactly, because I'm sure in 5 years Dominic will be a top guy on the roster if he keeps putting the work in and he trains.
He seems like he really does want to do this. So you have to give him the credit that he really is trying.
Yes, I will give him that. He shows up. He looks like he enjoys work, which is good.
I think the biggest problem is
he also has unfairly been pigeonholed into being Dominic Mysterio.
That's what I was about to say.
He never,
That's the real problem. If you can, the faster you get him away from Ray, the better.
for him, yeah.
For him, 100%.
Because he can't be a character if
sell
he's
him as
Dominic
you want.
Mysterio.
Not, I don't even think it's that. I think it's in ring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't sell me him as a luchador. He's 6'1".
Yeah.
Like, he's not Ray. He's not that quick, nimble, small guy. And, like,
Well,
when
I
you
mean-
really start thinking about, like, the good luchadors, though.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, like the high-flying ones and
But
everything. But
honestly, if he needs to wrestle like Santos.
Yeah.
Where Santos is considered, like, what is he, the king of Lucha Libre
Yeah.
or whatever? But, like, he doesn't wrestle like a luchador
yeah.
all the time.
He has one or two moments.
Yeah.
And
like,
then-
he can do it, but that's not what his style is.
Kind of like how Andrade was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because Dominic, like, you can only sell me, like, on the arm drags and the through the rope stuff so many times.
And that's the thing is his only high-flying spot is a terrible frog splash.
It's not
which
very good.
He's got to fix.
Yeah.
And an arm drag.
The one thing he does do well is that little corner spot. That
Yeah.
corner spot's really cool. I like that. But that can be, like, your one or two luchador things.
Yeah.
And then the rest, like, wrestle normal.
Yeah, and then you run into the opposite
Put, like,
problem.
15 pounds on
That's what
him
I'm
and
about
let
to
him
say.
wrestle.
The other problem is he's still tiny.
Yeah.
But he's young, right? Was he 23-ish?
Here's the thing, though. I know what you're saying. He is tiny. But, like, this is your job now.
Yeah,
Put on 20 pounds.
Work out.
Go to the gym. Like, this is what you do now. Sorry.
Work
but,
out, eat right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am super critical of Dominic.
I think
I give him
Dominic
no
has
slack.
a lot of potential if they stop making him Dominic Mysterio.
That's the thing is I'm just super critical because of where he is already, which
Have him drop the Mysterio name, just call him Dominic,
Mm-hmm.
and then let him be his own thing. And I think he'd be pretty good.
yeah.
I think you had a perfect opportunity to do it too when they were like kind of feuding with Legato, but I know they went like the family direction. But like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know, I think they could have been good. That would have been really good for Dominic.
Could have been,
Yeah,
but WWE tends to miss the boat on
they
some
do.
things.
They do.
Or
'Cause
they,
the problem is
they
it's-
keep some things alive longer than it should
It's not
be.
even that. It's just they see Mysterio and their eyes light up.
Because you
that's
sell
the problem.
that sells.
It sells the merch.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like,
but then if you listen, we listen to the fans what they want.
It's like the
nobody
boys.
wants it. Yeah.
keeping the stock prices
Yeah,
up.
keeping the stock prices up. That kind of does it for Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, the other stuff we touched on, Lashley and
Yeah,
and the
there's nothing really
finale.
else to go too much into.
And then leaves us with NXT.
NXT is interesting right now. It's in a weird spot.
It's got some growing pains.
Yeah.
But it's nothing that can't be worked through.
No, of course not.
We got a good match that I didn't care about initially, but ended up being okay with Solo and
Von Wagner.
Von
I think
Wagner.
Von Wagner in ring is good. Because and I know what you're saying now, and
Yeah.
I heard you make the sound.
Yeah.
But like the first time we saw him in that Fatal 4-Way, we're like,
Yeah.
hey, this guy's pretty good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, just because his character now sucks doesn't
Yeah.
mean he's any worse. Because he did hang. He filled that spot, and
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looked a little slow, but he didn't look out of place.
yeah, he didn't look like he didn't belong there.
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
So, is he better than Dominic?
Yeah, I think.
Probably.
Different, probably, but
Probably.
different. But the thing is, like, to be fair, they really did him no favors after that.
No, he got pulled
Once
from
like
that, and
all
they
of
got
UE was gone and they kind of moved into 2.0, they did him no favors.
Then they put him with O'Reilly, who was never staying.
No, yeah.
Never staying.
Yeah.
He was out immediately.
Yeah,
And then you put him with Robert Stone,
yeah. Who has yet to get over a single person in NXT.
but still
No
here.
one has gotten over, but somehow is still here. I don't get it. Must do something behind the scenes we don't know about.
You got be a
Again,
coach
we
or
don't want
something.
anyone to get fired, but like when you look at the names that have been,
Yeah.
raises some questions.
Yeah. Yeah, Von Wagner's fine, but Solo's very,
very
good.
He's so good. He's gonna be a sick Uso.
Man, if
When they finally put him in the bloodline, if it gets to that point, oh man.
Yeah, if they're riding this bloodline thing out a little bit longer and Solo gets his chance, be a good addition.
Yeah.
Real good.
Yeah.
Because then you got like your Solo enforcer.
Exactly.
Like your little pit bull.
Exactly.
Like, no, we're not. I'm not sending main event.
You
Jay
have like
anymore.
Butch, but better Butch.
Yeah,
basically.
literally.
Yeah.
Literally that. We're sending the street champion.
The street
or
champion.
whatever.
Street
Yeah.
champion of the island. That's a good one. That's
yeah.
perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that comes sooner rather than later. What else happened on NXT?
Big turn.
Yes.
A very quick turn, but
Quick
a big turn.
Cora Jade turning on Roxanne Perez. Now heel.
Yeah.
Um,
Thoughts?
I don't know if she has this in her to be a heel long term, but to quote, kind of paraphrase Bleacher Report, there was no better time to do this, and it makes perfect sense story-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, say what you will about the long-term effects of this. Right now, when you look at the story arc of this, it's perfect. Because it's Cora Jade. Roxanne is the same character. Is the exact same character as Cora Jade.
Yep.
So Cora Jade, does this character, climbs the mountain, loses. Climbs the mountain, loses. Okay. Roxanne comes in doing the exact same thing, climbs the mountain and isn't losing.
Mm-hmm.
So now Cora's like, all right, well, what the hell is this? Like, I helped you push you here, and now it's working for you, but didn't for me. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about the long-term effects. Because you're just going to drop the tag belts?
And that's what I was going to say. So the tag belts are getting vacated.
They have to, right?
And then, Toxic Attraction gets them back? And we're back to the same thing. So what was the point? Because you could have gotten here without the belt swap. You could have.
I think all you had to do was... I just don't think you even had to have the tag match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just skip that. And then, like, had they been teasing up the whole thing about, like, Roxanne was going to use the cash-in on the tag belts... She doesn't. She uses it on Mandy, and then that pisses off Cora. And then you're at the same spot with less collateral.
A lot less
collateral damage.
Because now what are you going to do? It's like, this is one of the things that WWE does often that bothers me. Just inconsistent storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense.
No, yeah.
Logically makes no sense. It just does not follow. Because literally what you just said is the way to do it.
Yeah.
And you did that in 15 seconds.
You know who you give the belts to instead? Katana and Kayden Carter.
Yep.
Let them have the belts. They've earned it. They deserve it.
And would they have been good champions? Probably not. But
I
guess
think-
what? You avoid this.
I think they would have been very good in-ring champions.
Yeah.
They would have put on a lot of pretty good matches. Character-wise, I think it would have struggled a little bit, especially early on. But if you give them, like, no one else in the division deserves it more.
And there's no other true tag team.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
And they've been around for, 2-3 years now? Like, they've been really grinding through the tag division for a long time.
Yeah.
I think the only other tag team really kind of now is like Tatum Paxley and Ivy Nile.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a tag team.
Which
And
is
then
just
Toxic.
Weird. Yeah.
But
Maybe they're just going to do one women's tag belt. And when they vacate these, maybe they'll just do...
I think they just dump them both, to be honest. Which sucks.
Which is fine, too, honestly.
But I think it's time to just dump them. I mean, I know we talk a lot about, too, like the workhorse belt for like the mid-card belt for the women. There's no better place on NXT, like, to do it than NXT.
Right.
NXT is a great place to have that kind of belt. There's a lot of women on the come-up.
And it gives you a story for a lot of them, too. Because how many of them are in, like, mindless,
just
pointless
weird.
feuds?
Just like, we're feuding now.
Indy Hartwell beat Lash Legend. Like
why?
How many times is Lash Legend going to lose a nothing match before she just gets let go? Like, before she gets future in
Literally.
Because that's how it happens.
Yeah.
You go out there, you get wasted. They just job you out to whoever else they like better than
And then you lose. And then you get fired.
And then you get future endeavored.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that would benefit NXT a lot, like a mid-card women's belt. I don't know why, like, they've never done this. Like, it doesn't seem like that far-fetched of an idea.
I can understand how, like, back in the day, it wasn't a premium
but, like,
idea.
right now, like...
You have, I mean, I don't
ample
want to call it
amount of women.
stacked, but a full roster of women on both the main card and NXT that you could easily have 2 title feuds going.
And I know you say you don't want to use stacked, but, like, let's look at it for a second, especially the main roster.
The main roster's talented, man.
Who would be, right now, if you think about it, let's say Bayley's healthy, so just count her in too. Who's your champion right now for, like, a mid-card?
I mean, talk about all the people that came back.
Let's just use Asuka. Let's say Asuka's a mid-card champion. You have Bayley. You have... I can't think of her name. Lacey Evans. You have Bliss. You have... Whoever else you want to think, like Carmella, like you have a handful of people.
Becky's still in the mix.
Becky's still not a champ. Like you have a handful of people that could put on like legitimately good matches for this belt.
And then you got the young talent that don't get the exposure that they need.
Raquel, Aaliyah, Shotzi. Like you have good talent, just not doing anything.
And what better way to get you on TV than like, this is, and like you said, like the workhorse title, whatever, like gimmicky title.
But you don't. I just mean like the workhorse.
No, I know what you're saying.
To the IC.
Right, like you're out there putting on matches every week or whatever. But like, what better way to get a new talent over than to be like, oh, I got no problem working. Like I'll face everybody. Like, I want to.
And I think like I know I talked about this probably a couple months ago, but like make it like a forced open challenge belt.
Yes.
You have to defend this every single week.
You have to work.
It doesn't have to be every Monday, but like every calendar week.
You have to.
It has to be defended.
Monday or Friday.
And you know what? If you really want to do it and make it even more interesting, you can defend it on NXT if you want.
Yeah. Just open challenge.
Just open challenge once a week. on one of the brands.
And clearly, they have no problem sending talent to NXT.
NXT, no.
They did women down on NXT very frequently when it was the Bianca first title push.
And here's the thing that like WWE fails to realize. We talked about this again before. You could have, let's say Asuka's your champion. Put her down to NXT. Have him fight Ivy Nile. Guess what? Ivy Nile can lose.
Yeah.
She's losing to Asuka. It's not like she's losing to a nobody. It's not like she's getting buried.
And
she's losing to Asuka.
People tune in because they see Asuka's going to be on TV.
And Ivy Nile probably has a good match.
And Ivy Nile gets elevated.
Yeah.
And I know, I just kind of contradicts what I said about Ronda, right? Because sometimes you will get exposed as bad, but sometimes it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Guess what? On the main roster, sometimes these women look bad.
Yeah, just
sometimes
happens.
these
It just
guys look
happens.
bad.
Yeah.
So you lose nothing by taking a chance on a young girl like young in the sense of new talent,
Yeah.
Ivy Nile wrestling Asuka, or young talent like one of the members of Toxic Attraction gets a shot at Asuka.
EO. Think about all the people that are still in NXT. Like all the women still
What's
in
her
NXT.
face? What's her new name? Alba.
Oh, Elbow Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Gets a shot
there's a
at it.
handful of women in NXT that just like aren't really doing anything.
A handful of women on the main roster.
That aren't really doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Handful of guys on the main roster.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I don't know. I think that kind of wraps up the week.
Yeah,
it's a
pretty much.
slow week.
Yeah,
the
but-
only thing they're really building steam towards is Roman and
Brock. Yeah.
I mean,
everything else kind of
Ronda and Liv is happening.
chugging along. Yeah.
I guess Becky's getting a title match
Apparently.
because that's.
I mean,
how
they're
it
not going
works.
to keep Becky off SummerSlam. Let's
No,
be
but I
real.
guess that's how it works.
They
I
use
want a
that for-
match.
yeah, well,
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
You
There
got
go.
it.
There you go. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.
If you like this kind of content, like more podcasts, weekly podcasts,
Yeah. Like
wrestling,
comment,
subscribe, comment down below, like the video. Let us
Yeah.
know your thoughts. Let us know what you think going into SummerSlam. Any matches that you think may happen that we didn't talk about. Matches you're looking forward to.
Anything we're missing.
Anything we're missing.
Between the lines, if you guys see something
That we're not
that's
seeing.
happening on weekly
Yeah.
television that we're just overlooking,
Let us know what you think of like a women's mid-card belt. That's something you'd be interested in seeing.
Yeah.
So maybe like we think it's cool, but like you're like,
yeah,
maybe we're missing the mark.
Exactly.
Potentially.
Maybe we're off base.
Yeah.
If the masses are like, no, I wouldn't care for that.
Then all right, maybe that's why.
Guess what? I don't care about the 24/7 title. So
Yeah, so, well, it's just as bad. So.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Social
guys.
media links in the description. At Wrestle_pod.
Yeah.
Instagram and Twitter. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify.
Everywhere you get your
Everywhere you
content.
get your content, we're there.
All right, fellas
And ladies.
and ladies. Yeah, fellas was a general like.
That's fair.
Yeah, just
Fair.
like the
Don't want to get
fellas.
canceled, though.
Yeah, true. All right.
All right.
Peace.